Welcome to a very special episode of Into the Woods. I'm your host, Dermott, and for the next hour or so, we'll be putting together a mock draft of the best Collingwood players during the AFL era. If you want to join in the conversation, be sure to follow our socials. You can find us on X at Into the Woods Pod and on Instagram at Into the Woods Pod 10. Today, I'm joined by my regular co-host, Michael. It's good to see you back in the seniors, Mick.
Yeah. Well, it's good to be back. Look, I'm a bit. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I've kind of gotten over it to an extent. For those who don't know, I rang Dermot about a week, 10 days ago, to ask when our next podcast was going to be, and there was an awkward silence. He a bit sheepishly said, "I'm doing one next Tuesday with
Andres, yep.
Andreas, sorry, from Black and White United."
Hmm.
And I said, "I don't think I'm available on Tuesday."
Hmm.
And he's proceeded to tell me that my presence was not required
Hmm.
because it would be a bit too clunky. Was the term he used?
Look, the important thing
So
was we wanted the podcast to be about our special guest, which was Andres, and we really appreciate you coming on, mate. Um, if there was two of us, that would be two of us having a talk, and not as much of Andres. So
mm,
yeah, we had to drop you to the reserves for a week, as I said on the
yeah,
on the last pod. But you've got the recall.
yeah,
Yeah, I heard that you hit some form in the podcast reserves. So.
yeah. Look, I'm okay. Initially, I sobbed,
Oh, you said that you wrote a speech about.
as anybody would.
You said you wrote a speech and that you wanted to bring it up on the next podcast. But
No, I
this is
didn't
the
write a
next
speech. No, no, not at all.
This is the next
Look,
podcast.
I'm over it. But I'll tell you
Here we go.
who's not over it.
Here we go.
I
Yeah.
tell you, our loyal listeners is
Mm.
not over it. I've had a little bit of
You
feedback.
sure?
It's
Because I've
been
heard a lot of good reviews.
more than a
It's
little bit.
one of our most listened to podcasts ever.
Well, yeah, let's rub my nose in it. But more than a little bit, but just a segment.
Hmm.
Loyal listener Natalie from Dingley.
Oh yeah, we're making up people again. Yep.
Well, it's a bit rude to question Natalie's existence, very existence.
Hmm.
Natalie from Dingley says, and I quote, "Dermot, you podcasting tart." I think she was referring to when I turned my head and you shacked up with your podcasting fancy man, Andreas from Black and White United. And Louise from Emerald says it's like taking Sergeant O'Rourke out of F Troop, which Louise is showing her age a bit there. But yeah,
Interesting.
I've moved on, but the wider listening public have not. But anyway, some good came out of it though. I've got to say, some good,
Yep.
exciting.
Go on.
I've managed to close the gap and actually surge in front in Dermot's new quiz. Who am I?
See,
Uh, we've had
Michael is saying that he got the question within what the very first one.
the
That
first
you get
answer.
5 points.
Yep.
Okay, one, I don't believe you, and two, you were just a listener, Michael. It wasn't for you.
No, I'll tell you the difference. Why I wasn't just because that question was meant for me. I would have been asked that question in the event I was in my proper position as co-host to
Oh,
this, and you had not gone off with your aforementioned fancy man, and like a tart, as Natalie from Dingley pointed out, that would have been my question. Okay. And
oh,
I got it on the first go because the clue was something along the lines of coming from South Australia in 2002. So straight away, but you said he was a forward pocket. So straight away, I'm thinking Matthew Locken, and I'm thinking the only other South Australian around.
ah,
Indulge me for a moment, if you will. The only other South Australian to come in that period would have been Didak, and he was a forward pocket from South Australia. So I'm thinking red herring. Okay, it's Matthew Locken because I knew you'd go for the less likely of the two. So I've gone bang, Matthew Locken. The second clue was I actually played a halfback flank when I got to Collingwood. Bang, I knew it was Locken. 5 points.
I'm not sure if there's any point doing this podcast anymore because I'm pretty sure everybody just turned off. That was boring. We'll move on. It wasn't for you.
No,
You were a listener.
it's irrelevant
Um,
whether it was boring or interesting. I'm not doing it for the listener. I'm doing it to set the record straight in terms of the
right.
tally for the new quiz.
Anyway, thank you to Andres for filling in,
Oh, yep.
and
No,
also
he did a good
to
job.
to Leon Davis. This is our first podcast since the Leon interview, so to both of those guys. Appreciate it.
Yep.
So you speak of Who Am I, the segment. There'll be no Who Am I today. There'll be no I Got Vomit. There'll be no hot topics.
Oh, okay.
Because this episode is purely for draft. And it was a bit of an idea I came up with last year. I play a lot of AFL fantasy, more
Yep.
so the salary cap formats more than draft, but I still do have one or two draft leagues and a few podcasts I listen to in the AFL fantasy and Supercoach communities put together mock drafts, and I always find it an interesting listen. And I thought, is there a way we could do something like that when we're maybe struggling for content as we are right now? You know, we're in this bit of an awkward stage before the practice matches. And yeah, so I thought now would be the perfect time to do it. So essentially, the rules of this draft are every single player that played for Collingwood in the AFL era, so 1990 to 2024, are eligible for this draft. All right. So I'm going to put a team together. You're going to put a team together. So we've got a coin here.
Oh, was that what I
That's
was
the we've got a
doing?
coin. Um,
Funny, that was annoying
we'll
me.
flip the coin. Whoever gets it right gets to pick one. All
Slow
right.
down, you're going too far. So whoever flip a coin, whoever wins goes
Goes
first.
goes first.
Right.
Now there's 5 rounds. Okay. So the first round goes from round one. Sorry, goes from pick one to pick 10. Okay. So we
Right.
both get 5 picks each in round one.
Okay.
So let's just say hypothetically, you get pick one,
Right.
I get pick two. That means I'll get pick 10 and then pick 11. So we're going to go the other way around. So then round two would go from 11 to 20, and then you would have
Right.
20 and 21, and then round three will go that way. So it's called Snake. I got that from the AFL Fantasy. That's
And it works out evenly, I
it works
assume.
out. It's as close to even as you could get. The last round, so there's 5 rounds, 4 rounds of 10, and the last round has 6 picks in it. So we're going to be doing a bench. We're going to be doing a sub. Obviously,
Mm.
once I take a player, you can't take him. And the other thing is we've got to put a year to the player. So, for example, if
Right.
you draft Dane Swan,
Mm.
you
Have to
you
nominate,
have to
yeah.
nominate what Dane Swan.
What
So I want the 2010 version of Dane Swan.
Yes, but that's going to be difficult with certain players, like a Pendlebury,
Mm,
for instance. Like the guy hasn't had a bad year.
mm,
Was 2011 slightly better than 2010, slightly better than 2014?
mm.
The stats might say one year was better than the other, but just the stats. So yeah,
Yeah, well, but that's part of the challenge. So,
but it'll be over very quickly. It'll be over after the first pick.
and why is that?
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but the whole premise of this is who's going to end up with the best team at the end.
Yeah,
Correct?
yeah.
Okay. Well, the first pick is vital because there's a particular player that if
Mm.
you don't pick him, it's all
Oh,
over.
oh, all right, all right.
It's all over.
No,
And
that's
I'll
interesting.
go into it
Yeah,
further
no, and that's what I like. There's tactics here, and
because it's not we're not saying this is the best 18 players 1
yeah,
to 18. Well, I'm not anyway. I'm not sure what your tactics are, but obviously we're picking a team.
a team. Yeah,
So we're going to think, okay, if I miss out on this one player, how am I going to replace him?
yeah,
Yeah, and
100%.
there's some players, even as great as they are, that are easier to replace than some other players if you miss out on them.
I may add, so when you draft a player, you need to tell me and the listeners where you're putting them on the field, and you're allowed, but
Oh,
no, but you're
right.
allowed to be flexible and move them around.
Well, yeah,
So
depends
say,
depends on who you
so
get.
say we
Like,
get friend of the show L.Davis, and you say I'm drafting him as a half forward flanker, but as the draft goes on,
hmm.
you realize, geez, like it'd be
Well,
better for my team to put him in a half back flank. You need to tell the listeners that you're moving him.
well, I think the listeners know basically where these guys have played over
Well,
the
you just no,
years.
but it's sort of we can keep track of our own teams, and then I can look at your team and be like, okay, Michael's got 4 midfielders already. I don't think he's going to go for another midfielder, so maybe I need to strike and get it forward or something like that. So
Mm, mm.
so that's probably how we're going to do it, I'd say. I reckon at the end of each round, so the end of round one, we'll have a tiny little break and just sort of talk about our 5 picks and how our team's sort of looking. Just so we're not just pumping out a lot of picks at once and the viewers can kind of keep up. And picks would probably roughly be a minute, I'd say. One minute. I wanted to get one of those sand
Well,
timers, those things that go for a minute. We tip it just to put the pressure on. I was meant to ask my girlfriend for one yesterday, but I completely forgot. So now
did
we'll roughly go a
did
minute.
did you just want to tell our listeners you got a girlfriend? Is that why you've incorporated that into the conversation?
Well, no,
I'm
that's
I'm,
not the case.
I'm not just some sad guy who sits in his mother's spare bedroom once a week and
Well,
does.
this
I've
is
got
actually
a life outside of
this
that.
is actually my house.
Yeah, but normally we'd be in your mother's spare
Normally
bedroom.
we do.
Yeah.
And speaking of this being my house, maybe at the end of the episode we can get my housemate in, Oscar.
He's a mad King
He's a
Collingwood
Collingwood
fan.
supporter
He
too.
might.
Maybe he can come in. We don't tell him whose team to, and he can sort of pick which one he likes the most.
Oh no, it's going to take too long because he takes a while to read it. That'll be boring.
Oh, I don't know. But
Why are you coming across as tall? This is what I can't understand. Since we've been doing the Zoom, Dermott appears quite significantly taller than me when we sit. We've got the same size chair, yet anyway, doesn't matter.
uh,
We are the same height.
what we will do as well is we will put it to a vote at the end of the podcast. I don't know where the poll will be. I think there is a poll on Spotify, so we can maybe chuck the poll up on Spotify, also Twitter
What are we?
and Instagram and all those
Why are we
things
doing this?
to see who's got the better team. So we'll let the listeners
But that
decide.
won't. Well, that won't decide who's got the better
No,
team.
they would decide, and whoever wins gets this $2 coin. Because no, I went
Okay.
for a walk. It's not even mine. I
Okay.
went for a walk the other day and found it on the ground. So really, it's up for grabs. I didn't earn that $2. You didn't earn that
No,
$2. It's
no. But look, I don't want to make a big deal, and you're just going to do it anyway.
mm.
But putting it onto Twitter or whatever you're going to put it on, and getting people to vote won't establish who's the best
Yes, it
side.
will.
No, it won't. It's people's opinion. It comes down like you could put I don't know you could put a quiz. People are stupid. Look, maybe I shouldn't say that about listeners. I appreciate it,
We love
but
you.
the general public is stupid. Like I could put a quiz out there saying, "Oh,
Mm.
who was the space race between back in the 50s?" And half of the people would say freaking Bangladesh and Iceland, and Bangladesh got to the moon first. People don't know things, is what I'm saying.
Apparently, according to Michael, you don't know things.
No, no, no,
I
no.
reckon our listeners will be begging for Andreas to come back
No,
at the end of
no,
this.
please. I don't want the listeners to get the impression that I don't appreciate them. That's far from the truth. Okay, we'll do the quiz, but it won't prove anything. Okay,
Yes,
go
all
ahead.
right, all
So
right.
what are we doing now?
Well, I think we've explained everything. I think we can get into it now. So, do you want to do the honors of the coin flip?
Oh no, you can do
No,
it.
because I don't want any. I don't want you to be like,
Where,
you
well,
cheated, you
where I have to
cheated.
get up.
What do you mean you have to get up? All right, heads. Fuck.
It is heads.
No, it isn't, is it?
It's heads. That's heads.
That's tails, you idiot.
It's got the guy's head on it. Oh, you're right. Sorry. Well, why is there heads on both heads and tails? That's very
All right.
very confusing. It's
Damn.
got the guy's head.
Well, let's see who your number one pick is then. All right, so
Oh,
you're
okay.
you're on the clock.
I'm on. Okay, well, this one,
Pick one to Michael. Go on.
Anthony Rocca.
Oh,
Anthony Rocca, and that's what I was alluding to before, listeners. Anthony Rocca isn't the best player at Collingwood in the AFL era, but what he is, he's the most important player at Collingwood that I've seen.
yeah.
You don't get Rocca, like he's clearly been our best centre half forward in that period, but not only that, he was a very good second ruck. He could play full forward. He came second the best and fairest behind Bucks in '99 as a centre half back. Once he elbowed Lade in the 2002 prelim, and he got reported. No, we were winning the premiership after that.
I,
So,
I like the pick. I actually like the pick. But you need to tell us where are you putting him and
oh,
what version of Anthony Rocca do you want?
oh
What
well,
year?
look, well, I'll go. What I got to. I didn't do a lot of research in the years. I've just done it by
Come on.
feel. I think the early
We got
2003.
okay. We got 40. We got 46 picks to get through, man.
2003 is my year.
Yep. And what position? Centre half.
Oh, centre half forward. Yeah, he'd be the second ruck. Oh well, no, they're not giving away my tactics. He's centre half forward.
All right. So pick two to Dermott. I'm going to go 1990 version of P.Daicos. Thank you very much. 97 goals. I'm going to put him on a half forward flank and push into the midfield.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You've made a mistake though. Just
What?
quickly. 99% of people will say the 1990 version of Peter Daicos, yes, brilliant,
This
fantastic.
this is only from the 1990 onwards. Whatever
Yeah,
he did in
19,
the
yeah,
80s
no,
doesn't
no, no,
count.
no.
Okay.
1992, I think he was having his best season. He'd moved back into the midfield and pushed forward. Um, he did his shoulder against Geelong kind of midway through the year, and that really stuffed him up. And by the time he came back, um, he, he'd had his first kid, a girl, unfortunately, but he
You
had
shouldn't
his
say
first.
that.
No, I'm just imagining it was another boy.
Okay, we can't
But
we can't go into the story every single
no, no,
player.
no,
We'll be
no.
here for
But I just
five
want to make
hours.
this point.
Okay.
So he came back from his shoulder injury. It wasn't the same. Apparently, he was getting no sleep at home because his kid was whinging the whole time. So, but initially, his 92 season, I think he ended up kicking like 50 something goals as Rock Rover. So, rookie mistake. He went for 1990, should have gone for
Yes.
92.
Oh, yeah, it's awful that I've got a guy to kick 97 goals in there, but all right. Pick three. Go on, Michael.
Well, this is my pick too.
Well, no, it's pick three in the draft.
Overall,
Yeah.
oh, okay, rightio. Jordan De Goey.
Jordan De Goey.
There's again reason behind it. Jordan De
Jordan De
Goey.
Goey.
Yeah, yep, yep. It'll become apparent later on why I went for De
Well, okay,
Goey.
what you need to say what year and what
Okay,
position.
settle down.
You're so quick to go into
How
in
have we
1992,
got
Peter
here?
Daicos had a daughter, yet you're not actually
But no, in a summary for this show, it says a relaxed chat. It's all very tense. Again, look, not 21, I think.
De
20.
Goey 21.
Yeah, didn't he play well in 21?
See, I got De Goey. Okay, when I put De Goey in my notes, I put him if I have him in a forward line, I got 2018 version. If I have him in a midfield, I got 2023 version. So I don't know where you're getting 21 from, but that's all right.
Yeah, I think he's pretty good in 21. Like I said, I didn't do a lot
Well,
of.
where are you putting him?
We, uh, I'm actually putting him at full forward. He's coming out of the square.
So wouldn't you want 2018 Geordie to kick 50 goals at full forward? Uh,
The years don't matter.
Yes, the years do matter.
Okay, keep on going.
Well, what year? 2021.
No, I'll stick with 21. It doesn't matter really. I'm not a big on the years.
Well, it does. That's the whole point of this whole podcast is you're getting these players in their absolute peak of their
Okay,
career.
okay, all right. You're saying you wanted me to hurry up. You told me
2021,
about this. You told me about this year bit.
he kicked
What last
23
night?
goals.
You told me about it last night. Okay, I didn't have
I
time.
told you about it last week, but look, I'm gonna do you a favor. I'm gonna put 2018 down, where he kicked
No,
close to 50
no,
goals.
no, I'm not going to take you a sippy. Oh, my kooky old dad doesn't know what
The
he's
Goey
saying. I think it's an
2018.
onset of early dementia. 2021 version of the Goey. Thank you very much. Because he's pushing into the midfield. He's not going to be a full forward the whole time.
That's awful, but okay, whatever. Okay, so I wasn't planning for this. Pick four. You kind of throw me off a bit there because I predicted a little bit of what you were going to do, and I wasn't expecting to go that early. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go pick four, S.Rocca.
Ooh,
Yes,
that's
1995 S.Rocca, where he kicked 92 goals. I just didn't want to take the risk of you taking him and leaving me with nothing.
I wasn't going to take Tab-Rocker at all.
What do you mean at all?
I wasn't going to take him at all.
You weren't going to take him in the draft.
You can't. The two Rockers, you weren't old enough to remember. The two Rockers didn't play well together in the same forward line. It was too tall. That's why Mick got rid of Sav. It's not. It doesn't. It looks good on paper. It doesn't work in practice. Okay, I'm going for a more mobile forward line.
All right.
So yep.
I think that's a good pick. I got two guys in my forward line that kicked 90 plus goals in those years.
Okay. The fact that I've got Anthony and you've got Sav, this definitely means the competition's
Well,
over.
I like to add that I've put S.Rocca at full forward. Then,
Yep. Okay. Right. My pick.
yep, your pick.
I see your Peter Daicos and I raise you
Don't,
one Nick
don't.
Daicos.
No!
I've got him.
What? Why would you do that? You've picked Nick Daicos before Bucks and Pendles.
It'll become apparent why. Again, we're not picking the best players
Fuck.
1 to 18. We're not doing that. Okay. Well, I'm not doing it. I'm not.
No.
You're,
Well, obviously not, because S.Rocca's not better than
I-
Bucks and Pendles.
I'm picking a team.
How could you do that? How could you? I thought I was gonna get him inside the top 10,
Nah.
but I didn't think you were gonna pounce that early.
No, I'm using my experience. Nick Daicos, 2023 version. He was great last year, of course, but he played more inside.
I had 2023.
He had his bet on the outside. Because of this half-back flank, he will spend time in the midfield. But half-back flank,
Halfback flank. I just want to say to our viewers watching us on YouTube, sorry if we're not actually looking at the camera. We're doing like I'm editing my notes as the players go. This is a podcast first, YouTube second. So just want to apologize that we might not look like we're engaged, but we definitely are. So yeah, Nick Daicos at pick 5 to Michael, 2023 version of a halfback flank. Is that right?
Upper halfback flank.
Gee,
Watch out, bang. I think I've won this.
you're throwing me around a bit here. Well, I'm not sure if you have. I think the goey went a bit early. All right. So I'm going to go this. I will admit these picks have thrown me off.
Tick, 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 tick.
What? Oh,
Well,
yes.
your minute started a long time ago.
All right, calm down. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do this now. I'm gonna go pick 6 Pendlebury.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm going to choose the 2011 version of Pendlebury, and I'm going to put him in the middle, in the midfield, ruck rover for now. Which
All right.
you've kind of pushed me into an area where I didn't want to go, because I planned my draft around not having to do this, but yeah. All right, you go. Pick 6.
James,
Pick 7.
James Clement.
Really?
James Clement. You get your back lines win premiership.
I nearly went James Clement with that last pick.
James
Fuck
Clement.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you mean? You happy?
Yes, I'm happy. Pick 8 Bucks. Yeah.
Wait, what can I say? Can I say my year first?
Pendles and Bucks. So I'll tell you what, my plan was to let you pick Pendlebury or Bucks first, and whoever you don't choose, I get the other one because I was happy with getting both. I didn't think that I was any chance of getting both of them. All right, no shit, I got ahead of myself. What version of James Clements are you getting? What year? Sorry.
Again, roughly 2003. Is very good. Well, you think that's bad? You should have seen who I did happen to. A couple of the guys I moved further down.
Wait,
Okay.
hold on. Why didn't you get Bucks?
Because I was back.
Did you seriously think that I was going to let Bucks slide then?
No, look, I'll tell you why. And I've already explained it, but I'll tell you why. Because I'm not saying Clement is a better player than Bucks. He's not. But if I miss out on Clement, it's harder to replace him than if I'd missed out on Bucks.
But now you don't have Bucks or Pendles. I've got them both. So that was my whole plan: is let you pick one first, and I'll grab the other one. That was my whole plan, and that's why I said you pushed me into a corner I didn't want because.
So you'd pick You'd already picked Pendlebury, had you?
Yes, I picked. Well, obviously, this is why you need to listen. I picked the 2011 Pendlebury.
So you got Pendlebury, Buckley, and P.Daicos.
Yeah, I choose in the Brownlow version of Bucks. 2003 Buckley. Bang smack in the midfield.
I'm going to have to change things up a bit. I had somebody else next.
This is your last.
Well, my next pick was going to be.
Can I just say, whoever you pick, I got the next 2 because this is pick 9.
Geez.
That means I have 10, 11. Because you.
No, let's start again.
No.
My next pick was going to be P.Daicos.
What? I've got Peter.
Yeah, no, you got P.Daicos, I know, but I can't now go for his alternative. So I've got a list of alternatives if I miss out on him. Okay, I've got 4 guys I'll pick up if I don't miss out. But now, if you've got you've got Pendles and Bucks, I'm going to have to move things around a bit. I'm going to go for Swanee.
I was going to go him next. You didn't have the best midfield if you didn't. But 2010 Swanee, I'm assuming then.
Well, 20, tight, fruit up between 2010, 2011, but I think he's actually better in 2010. So,
wait, 2010? Yeah,
yeah, 2010.
Yeah, his Brownlow year was 11, but
I think he was better than 10.
Yeah,
10.
and where do you want him? Centre?
Yes, on the ruck roving. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Whatever.
Are you keeping track of what your team looks like or not?
Jesus, no.
Okay, well, this is the last pick of the first round, so then you can sort of take a breather. So I've got your team written down in my phone because I'm keeping track of what you've done. Pick 10. Pick 10. So my team's looking very nice.
Bucks is gone too.
Actually, Bucks is gone. All right, so I am going to go at pick number 10. I'm going to go Alan Didak.
No, I'm telling you, no, just quietly, you can't, because in the event that I'd missed out on Daicos, I was going Didak.
Didak is joining my team. I'm gonna grab the 2010 version where he kicked 41 goals, or Australian Premiership year.
Yeah, he was
Um,
my 2010 version too.
yep, and I'm gonna chuck him on the half forward flank. Him and P.Daicos on that half forward flank looking very, very nice.
I can see by the end of this, I'm going to have Billy Frampton in the centre, I think. Uh,
All right, so that's the end of round one. So let's recap. So Michael has taken Anthony Rocca at pick one, Jordan De Goey at pick three, Nick Daicos at pick five, James Clement at pick seven, and Dane Swan at pick nine. I have taken Peter Daicos at pick two, Sav Rocca at pick four, Scott Pendlebury at pick six, Nathan Buckley at pick eight. Well, that's a bit of a slide, and Alan Didak at pick 10. And on top of that, I get the next pick for the second round.
we got the old, I can't believe he slid that far already. Uh,
So, what did you say? If you get pick one, it's all over. Is
it's
that what you...
well, I still maintain that. Uh,
Yeah, I don't really like the way that your team's looking at the moment, Meg.
oh, hold on, I got Nick Daicos, halfback flank. I got Swan in the middle. I got Rocker at centre half forward. I got De Goey at full forward. I got James Clement, say back pocket.
Hmm.
Um,
Peter Daicos, Pendlebury, Buckley in the same team. How do you let that happen? This is what you do. You try to get too fancy, Mick. You try to get too fancy.
I'll show you my original top 10 later on, and I adjusted it last night at the last minute. Uh,
Oh, God.
it looks a bit funny in retrospect.
All right,
Um,
so pick 11. It's Snake, so it's going back down my way. What I am going to do is I am going to lock in. Not sure if this is too soon, but I'm gonna go pick 11, Steel Sidebottom on a wing. Is that what you were gonna do?
oh, he was, yeah.
I'm gonna go to 2018 version. That was his best year, in my opinion. And yep, lock him in on a wing at pick 11.
All right. Okay.
All right.
That's my pick now. That's the okay. Now, this is, can I just preface this by saying this is where you're going to have trouble with your little poll. Okay, you're going to have all the millenniums
It's because you know you've lost already.
and the young people voting on this. They don't know how good this guy is. And spoiler alert, we hope to be talking to this guy in the next couple of weeks.
Okay, yeah, I know who you're picking now.
And it's Mick McGuan. Mick McGuan was an absolute gun of a footballer. If his son's half as good, watch out. I had him in the conversation in my 45 years of watching, right up there with the likes of Swanee and Sidey and Sidebottom. Mick McGuan on a wing.
On a wing?
Yeah,
What version of him?
1992 version. That was the first of his back-to-back B&Fs.
Okay.
He was a gun of a footballer. So there you go.
Okay, so Mick McGuan is off the table. And now at pick 13. Oh, geez. This is when it starts getting a little bit difficult.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm moving
Yeah,
things
because you're
around.
sort of like looking at your team, looking at my team. Who am I going to get? What I am going to do is I want to get it. I want to start my back line. Haven't started my back line yet, so I'm going to go 2023 version of Darcy Moore. Lock him in at centre half back, and
Okay.
I just want that solid defender there. And you are up at pick 14.
Right. This guy was originally pick one, two, three, four, six. This guy was originally pick six, but I changed things around last minute. Presti at fullback. Tighten things up. What a good player Presti was. Presti was a very underrated footballer. Not many full forwards gave Presti
And
problems.
what year do you want Presti?
I think he was a very 2008. I think he
It was
was.
09. I looked at it.
Oh
Yeah,
nine.
because I had, yeah. I'll give you 09. That was easily his best year.
Yeah, good player, Presti.
Yes. Well, see, I'm happy I took Darcy. Were you going to take Darcy Moore before
I
Presti?
no, he was after Presti.
I'm still happy I did it. Got that out of the way now. All right. Jeez. This is difficult, but what I'm going to do is I am going to lock in 1990 version of T.Shaw and putting him in the midfield alongside Pendles and Bucks. I think that's
Right,
a
you're in and under.
yeah.
You're in and under.
Norm Smith
Um,
medalist that year, Premiership captain.
Victorian captain,
Yeah, I think that's a good pick at pick 14 actually. T.Shaw.
best and Copeland Trophy winner that year. I'll
Yeah.
just say that. Okay, rightio.
Oh, sorry, that's pick 15. So you're pick 16 now. Forgot to put Presti
Right.
in.
I'm going for his nephew on the halfback flank. Heath Shaw,
Ah, yes. Okay.
let's say 2010. He was playing very well in 2011 before we decided to put that bet on. And what did he miss? How many weeks did
That
he miss?
was
Was that
yes, yeah,
2011?
11 was yeah.
That that hurt us. He didn't have his match fitness when he came back. But Heath Shaw. So I've got my halfback flankers. Listen now, listen to this, listeners.
Listen to this, listeners.
Listen to this,
You're
listeners.
trying to convince.
No, I'm not. I just want to point out because, as I said, some of them are
Wait, what year was that
a
for
bit
Heath? I'm just writing it down.
2010. Some of them might be suffering from the disadvantage of being stupid. So
They're not
I've,
going to be voting for you,
no,
Michael.
no.
You're calling them stupid now.
No, they'll appreciate me calling a spade a spade. Okay, Heath Shaw, Nick Daicos on your halfback flanks. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Keep on going.
Oh, there, no, it's good. It's very good, Michael.
Don't patronise me.
What? All right. What am I going to do now? What am I going to do now? What I'm going to do is there's some very, very good names on here, isn't there? But they're all kind of even. What I'm going to do is lock in another defender. Just because I don't want you to have the greatest defense of all time. And that is the 2017 version of Jeremy Howe.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
So now I've got the Howe Moore combo. I'm pretty happy
Yeah,
with that.
okay. Um, you've given you a year, haven't you? Yeah, so
2017 was his best year.
2017, yes.
2017.
What do we got? We've got Daisy Thomas, half forward flank, 2011.
2011. Yeah,
Yep,
that was his best year.
yep. Thomas and half forward flank.
All right, all right.
Thomas Rocket to go in the forward line. Good luck. Good luck.
Yes. No, it's not a bad.
Who's Darcy Moore playing on in this?
Well, it's because you don't have any fucking key forwards other than Anthony Rocca, but
He's
you
a
got the goalie at full forward. Well, I guess in a way that means I don't have to draft a lot of key defenders if you're not picking any key forwards, isn't that right?
No, Anthony Rocker's not a key forward.
Yeah, that's one. So Darcy Moore can play.
I seem to remember DeGoey Monster in Rants in the 2018
Oh, like
prelim.
he's fine.
Yeah,
But
you say Rance is one of the best fullbacks of all time,
he's up there
and
in the modern era.
DeGoey threw him around like a rag doll that night, kick four.
All right, so this is my last pick of the second round. So I need to make it worth it because then you've got the next two picks after this.
Oh, have I?
Yes, you.
Okay, right. I'm just crossing out who's gone so far.
So what I am going to do, bum, 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 bum. I want to, I'm going to lock in. I'm going to lock in a guy in my forward line. That was probably mainly a midfielder, but he kicked close to 50 goals in 1990, and that's Gavin Brown.
Oh, oh, you were never picking Gavin Brown.
Well, I just did, didn't I?
No, look, I've got him set. He was going to be my defensive forward.
Yeah, I've got
and
him.
he was going to be picking up the interceptors.
1990 version of Gavin Brown. And I will chuck him. I will chuck him for the time being in a forward pocket. Gee, that's a good forward line. That is a good forward line. I'll read it out in a second because this is the last pick of the second round.
My pick coming up now.
Yes, and then we can reassess and look at our teams.
I'm a little bit well. That's
That's throwing you, has it?
I'm a little bit confused now. Hold on. Who should I go with next? He's gone. Oh, he's gone. Do you really get Buckley and
I got Pendlebury and Buckley, yeah. Remember, this is all my fantasy football experience coming out, Michael. It's good.
Sure, let's go. I'm going to go. I'm going to go Graham Wright on the wing.
Okay.
Now, again, young people won't
No, it's a
realise
good pick.
Graham Wright was a gun footballer. Second, he should have won the Brownlow in 1990.
A
Came second.
1990 version then?
1990 version.
It's not bad. I almost
Uh,
picked him with that last one. That's a good pick.
yeah, Graham Wright. Long from Essendon said it's his hardest opponent. Michael Long never troubled Collingwood because Graham Wright used to take him to the cleaners every time. Top footballer, Graham Wright.
No, it's a good pick. All right, so before you get into your next pick, that's the end of the second round, so you can take a deep breath. All right. So I'll read out the guys on my team at the moment, and I'll let you go yours. So in the back line, I've got Jeremy Howe and Darcy Moore. My midfielders, I've got Buckley, Pendlebury, Tony Shaw with Sidebottom on a wing. My forward line at the moment got Big Sav at full forward. I've got Didak and P.Daicos on the half forward flank. I've got Gavin Brown up there as well. And yeah, they're the 10 guys I've got in my team at the moment. Who are your 10?
Can I just reflect on your team for a second? So what's going to happen? So I got Presti fullback. He'll pick up S.Rocca. Sav was the most hot and cold player I've ever come across. When he was good, he was as good as anybody. When he was bad, you couldn't do anything with him. He could only play full forward. He couldn't even go up to centre half forward. Couldn't pitch hit in the ruck. What are you going to do with him when Presti takes
You're
him
not
to the
meant to be
cleaners?
like trying to bring down my team to make your team better. Just because you've butchered this draft, you're now going to try and.
This is the Collingwood podcast where we discuss
All right.
football matters. What are you going to do with
Well,
Sav when Presti takes him to the cleaners?
how cold could Sav be when I've got the 1995 version of him that kicked 92 goals? Like how many
Yeah, no, but it
how
always
many
was
bad
out.
games did he have in that
No,
game?
yeah, but always, how many bad games did Presti have in 2009?
I think I would be
So
backing
it all
Sav to beat Presti. I will see what our listeners think. I think Sav would beat Presti.
okay. So I've got James Clement, best best defender at Collingwood in the last 50 years, probably even longer than that. Presti at fullback, Heath Shaw halfback flank. A guy by the name of J.Daicos, who I think you're quite partial to. On the other halfback
You
flank,
just did that at a spite because I took Peter.
ran into this. Graham Wright on the wing, Swanee in the centre, Mick McGuan on the other wing, Daisy Thomas, who was described by Line in
Yeah,
2011 as the best player in the league
Yeah, he
at that time. Anthony Rocca, enough said. Jordan De Goey coming out of the square.
I mean, they're all guns, but I'm absolutely destroying you in this draft. Like P.Daicos, Pendlebury, Bucks. Like, but the good news for you is you got the next pick, pick 21.
Oh,
round
we're
three.
going now. Can we take a break so I can have a think about
That was our break.
while we were talking? I wasn't reflecting. So what do I need? I need to send out back in the back pocket. Talking for room. I might need to bolster my.
Quick,
I
Michael.
might need to bolster my midfield a little bit.
Who have you got in there at the moment?
Well, just Swanee's in there by himself. Hold on.
I'm looking at the available guys I have in the mid, and I'm like, they're all guns, but then at next level down. Poor old Swanee's going to be doing a lot of heavy lifting.
Okay, I'm gonna go for.
You're panicking.
I gotta go.
Three.
No, okay,
two.
hold on, no, hold on, wait. Okay, what's your freaking hurry? Okay,
He's got
did he have to be somewhere?
Right, listen, look at the vein popping out of his forehead.
Be somewhere. Dane Beams.
All right, Michael, now you have to pick right now.
No, I've said Dane Beams.
With Dane Beams,
Dane Beams.
2012, I'm assuming.
Yeah, 2012.
2012 Dane Beams in the midfield. Is that
Oh,
right?
if you give me, can I have another couple of minutes?
No, you can't have another couple of minutes, Michael. Dane Beams, 2012 in the midfield.
Hold on.
Hold on, is that your pick? Yes or no?
Yeah, but Beams in midfield. Very confident.
Look at
Well,
the panic.
Brisbane captain. He's the young people.
I'm sorry, is this a Brisbane draft? Is it? He did have an amazing 2012. I'll give you that. But
remember, I've got Nick in there. Nick can go into the midfield.
Well, you might have to do that because your backline's.
Oh, well, I might have to.
Well,
What?
I did
I'm
say
in desperate trouble.
I did say to you that we are allowed to move players around as the draft goes on. So, I think Nick in the midfield is probably going to have to go in there for you to help Swanee.
Well, no, but so could you tell me who's your fullback and who's your centre?
Yeah, well,
back?
I overheard you saying to yourself that giving up your notes and talking about how you might want another defender. So I've got to quickly jump in. and grab one.
Okay.
At fullback, I'm going to chuck in 2011 Ben Reid. Michael, Jesus Christ.
No.
For the viewers, for the listeners, Michael just
Where's my
walked
pen?
off.
Where's the pen?
I don't know where your fucking pen is. For our listeners, he just stormed
Oh, I
off. He's
need my
back.
pen.
For the people watching, I'm very sorry about that. He's the biggest child. He's the biggest child. And I tell you what, Ben Reid is. He's not someone I probably would have picked then, but I heard you talking to yourself and knew what you wanted to do, so I had to jump.
You can't take advantage of my mutterings. They're private. Where's the pen? I have to be able to.
Oh, I don't know, Michael.
Hold on.
Jesus.
I'm just gonna get.
All right. But we'll cut this bit out for the listeners. He's just fully cracked it. I reckon this is either going to be the best podcast we've done yet, or the worst. It would not surprise me if I look at the data and people have just tuned out after half of the pod.
What I said before, I might end up with Billy Frampton in the side.
So I've got Ben Reid, 2011 version at fullback. Michael, pick 23. Who are you going?
Jesus, I got to pick a fullback.
Well, you got Presti. He's your
No,
fullback.
okay, actually, no. Oh, sorry, not a fullback. Centre halfback. Oh, that's even worse.
So I've got Darcy Moore and Ben Reid. We haven't picked in ages because you've been chucking a tantrum.
Okay, rightio.
Did you just white out? Who still does that?
Well, I see I see you, Ben Reid. I raise you, Shane Morwood at centre half back.
Yeah, he's more of a halfback flank.
No, he's a centre half back.
Jesus, I've never seen it.
Oh, in '85, he took on.
Okay, 85. This is the 1990 season.
No. But I'm just saying, 1990, Shane Morwood. But in '85, I remember watching him at Vic Park take on Dermott Brereton at his very top and destroy him at centre half back. So there you go.
Yeah,
Shane Morwood.
It's a very undersized
back.
backline all of a sudden.
Shane Morwood. Oh, I've got Clement in the back pocket.
Okay, 1990 version, halfback flank. Yeah, no, good pick, I guess.
And the difference between Shane Morwood and Ben Reid is Shane Morwood actually managed to play football.
Ben Reid was All Australian 2011.
He was injured a lot. He's
not in 2011.
He's going to pull out of your side at the last minute.
Although, yeah, the grand final 2011 is on one leg, but
with a car.
With a car.
So, no, you can have him. I'm pretty happy, actually.
You're happy. You literally stormed off when I picked him.
It was an emotional reaction. And I thought, there's no way. I had him tucked away. Ben Reid, I had him tucked away. Dermott was
just
not
like you
pick
had,
him.
just like I wasn't going to pick Brown. All right, I got a pretty well balanced team, so I think I can almost go best available at this point.
Is it your pick?
It's my pick. Yes, well, you just picked Morwood, didn't you? Best available, I reckon. Who's my forward line? Oh yeah, I don't need a forward. That's stacked in there. Best available.
Best available. I know that voice you're putting on. It's a very, very cocky voice, very arrogant. Like you think you got this.
Let's go.
I have full faith in our listeners to make the right decision.
Let's go. I'm going to go on the halfback flank, and I'm going to say the halfback flank because this guy is as flexible as anything, can play any position. Halfback flank, 2022 version of Jack Crisp. Thank you very much.
He was going to be my back pocket.
Best and fairest that season. Best and fairest in 22. One of the great finals performers. We can tuck him in at pick 24. That's a steal. Jack Crisp, you beauty. Who have you got, Michael?
Okay,
it is getting tough.
Neon Leon in the back pocket, 2011.
It was between Leon and Chris for me. I was hoping I could get him. Friends of the show, hello to Leon if you're watching this draft. Inside the top 25, mate. You've done well.
He'll pick up the little guys. He'll pick up the Eddie Betts of the world. Actually, he's playing against your side. He's going to pick up. Who's in your forward pocket?
I've got Didak, P.Daicos, all those guys in there.
Leon might struggle a little bit. No, full faith, need on
Uh,
Leon. Throw him forward if I need him.
yeah, 2011, Leon. That's a good pick. It might be a bit biased because we love Leon now. He's a mate, but you're about to crack the shits again. You've definitely saved this guy because you didn't think I was gonna pick him. But I'm going at pick 26 on the other halfback flank, 1997 version of P.Williams.
Yeah, yeah. I rated P.Williams for the listeners
Hmm.
very high. He was a gun footballer.
Hmm.
Bit inconsistent when he's at the Pies. He became more consistent at
97 was
the
his best
Swans.
year looking into it.
But
Yeah.
he's running through the wing, getting to half forward and going bang. Yeah, good pickup.
Gun.
That does
Um,
upset me.
where was he on your list? Were you going to get in?
Uh,
It,
yeah, he was going to be interchange. In my perfect side, he was going to be interchange.
hmm.
Um,
Jeez, I'm happy with this lineup. Wow. This is going very well.
Talking it up a little bit.
Talking-
I think you're trying to hoodwink the listeners. I think that I've got more respect for them than you have.
Bullshit.
Rightio. So
How's your midfield looking, Mick?
I better actually turn my attention back. I got Beams in there. I got Swanee. I got Swanee. What's the problem? I got
Well,
Swanee.
this is kind of like an all-star kind of
I've got
team.
Nick Daicos in there.
No, you don't. He's on the halfback. Are you moving him? Are you officially?
At the moment, he's having trouble squeezing into my stacked midfield. Nick Daicos. What do I need? All right, my midfield does need a boost. So the general in there, Darren Jolly.
Okay. Yeah, 2010 version of Darren Jolly.
Do you want to storm out?
No.
Do you want to do your storming out?
Mm,
He just delivered a premiership to the Pies.
okay. Yes, he's a good pick. Yeah, it's a good pick. 2010 version.
2010 version
No, it's
of Darren Jolly.
No, yeah,
He could go forward, clunker mark, good kick for goal.
yeah. He was.
Him interchange with Rocca in the ruck. Good luck.
Yeah, he was definitely my number one ruck choice as well. But overall, I'm happy to let that one slide. You can't have them all. Pick 28 to the mighty Dermott team. What am I gonna do? What am I going to do here? There are some good players, but what I am going to do is I'm gonna go. How many forwards do I have at the moment? One, two, three, four. Yeah, I'm gonna go forward. I'm gonna go the 2022 clutch version of Jamie Elliott. So I looked at his stats. Like, you wanted Jamie,
Well,
did you?
I'm not a huge fan, but I needed somebody to play that forward pocket, good on the ground, good in the air, that I had earmarked for Brown. And now I'm going to have to choose a guy that I won't say anymore. But
So
I've got the next.
No, well, what I will say is Jamie Elliott. When I was looking at the years, I don't think 22 was technically his greatest year ever. But when you look at the clutch moments of Carlton, Essendon, and all that, like, yeah, that's what I want in my team. I want that Jamie Elliott in my team. So, yep, I've chucked him in the forward pocket, and it's a very handy little team. All right. So remember, I've got the next two picks after this one. So you're gonna have to make this one count.
Well, it's not going to count because I don't even rate this guy that highly. But just structurally for the side,
Oh,
I
God.
feel I need him.
Yeah.
And it's going to surprise a lot of people because some people will say one of the best players they've ever seen at Collingwood, Darren Mullane.
Oh, I wanted him. I wanted to pick him ages ago, but I knew you didn't rate him, so I was holding off.
Well, I don't rate him that
What?
highly.
No.
He occasionally could go forward. I remember kicking about four against Fitzroy, Vic Park one day. He was very explosive, everybody knows. So you could kind of a bit like to go in the forward line when he did play. He didn't play up there a lot, but when he did, he was dangerous. Yeah, so he could play a role good in the air, good on the ground. He could pick up your interceptors and make them accountable. So Darren, don't whinge to me. You got freaking Pendlebury and
This is the
Buckley.
thing. I know who you don't rate. So those guys that I do rate, and I know you don't, I've kind of just been letting them slide, and he was one of them. I would have picked him ages ago.
Well, it comes to the
But
point.
what
though.
are you going to do? So you've already got two wingmen. So where are you putting him?
No, I'm putting him in the forward pocket. I just explained it. Weren't you listening?
I thought you were talking about him pushing into the forward line.
No. Occasionally he obviously You didn't see him play, Dermot.
This is one of
Um,
the strangest forward
no,
lines
it's
I've
not.
ever
No,
seen.
no.
Not 1990 Darren
And
Blaine.
this is 1990 Darren Malone. And this is the trap that the listeners are falling because a lot of them aren't old enough to have seen these guys play. Darren Malone occasionally went forward and he was very dangerous in the forward line when he did.
Right. Okay. That's an awful pick, I'm going to say. Like,
Well,
if you're picking him on the wing, then why don't you put Mick McGuan in your midfield and then Mullane on a wing?
Mick McGuan played his best footy out of on the outside.
I don't know. Well, also, Dane
Whereas
Beams is in your midfield. I think he was more of a forward than what Mullane was, but
no.
you can change.
Well, Mullane wasn't a midfielder. Mullane didn't play in the guts. He played in the wing. As I said, he pushed forward sometimes.
Okay. All right.
He wasn't a rucker over or anything.
Um, okay. So what I'm going to do here. Far out. So I got the next two picks. So this is the last pick of the third round, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock in. Is this my last defender? It took me ages to fill my defense, and now yeah, it's my last defender. I am going to put in what version of this guy? The 2022 version of Braden Maynard in the back pocket.
Right.
Thank you very much. Fill that defend.
Well, yeah, okay. I might need some extra time.
Well, no, the next pick is mine anyway. So that's the end. Well, that's
How is it? How many extra picks have you had?
well, you had two in a row last time.
Did I?
Yes.
You might have to watch this back. I don't remember having two in a row.
You had pick 20, Graham Wright, pick 21, Dane Beams. Yes. And now I get pick 31. So we can talk over our teams and how they're looking at after three rounds. So I'll go through mine. So my backline is complete now. I may shuffle things around a little bit, depending on guys that I pick up in the next couple of rounds. But my full back line, I've got Jeremy Howe, 2017 version, Ben Reid, 2011, Braden Maynard, 2023. My half back line, I've got Jack Crisp, 22, Darcy Moore, 23, P.Williams, 97. At the moment, I've got no ruckman, but my three midfielders are Buckley, 03, Pendles, 2011, T.Shaw, 1990, with Steel Sidebottom 2018 version on the wing. And I've got five forwards at the moment. I've got two half-forward flankers in P.Daicos, 1990, Didak, 2010. I don't currently have a centre-half forward, but I got big S.Rocca at full forward.
It's not important, is it? Centre half forward.
Got S.Rocca, a full forward, 1995 version, and beside him in the pockets, I got a Gavin Brown 1990 version and Jamie Elliott in 2022. Read out your team, Mick. What have you got so far?
Clement, back pocket. Presti, full back. Leon Davis, back pocket. Back pocket. You got Nick Daicos, half back flank. Shane Morwood, centre half back. Heath Shaw, the other half back flank. Centre line, Graham Wright, Swanee, and Mick McGuan. Half forward flank, you got Daisy Thomas, you got Anthony Rocket, centre half forward, yet to have another half forward flanker. And then Mullane in the forward pocket, Jordan De Goey at full forward, Darren Jolly and Beams. Ruck Rogan.
All right, so I have pick 31, and what I'm going to do is we're going to have the first little positional move.
Can we trade at this point? Can we do some trades like between you and I?
No, it's just too complicated. So what I'm doing is I'm moving.
I'll give you Shane Morwood and Nick Daicos and Nick Davis for Pendlebury.
Nick Davis.
Sorry, Leon Davis. No, not Nick Davis. Nick Davis is on my list, but Leon Davis.
Nick Davis is on your list.
Oh yeah, he was good. Big fan of his dad.
All right, so what I'm doing right now is I am making the first positional move. So my 1990 Gavin Brown, who is currently in the forward pocket, is being moved to the interchange bench, and I am drafting at pick 31, 2023, Bobby Hill.
Next pick. I need a half forward flanker. I need a small forward. Oh, come on. This is ridiculous. I want an audit. No, seriously. I want an audit of these picks. Okay? I want somebody to go down and forensically look through the picks to make sure we've got the same number. Because I don't think we do.
Michael, can I just say, You know how I've got Buckley and Pendles in the midfield. So Sav's up there, and at Sav's feet, you got Peter Daicos, Alan Didak, Jamie Elliott, and Bobby Hill. That's pretty good, isn't it?
Can I have Bobby Hill?
No, you cannot have Bobby Hill.
Oh, Jesus.
The old Norm Smith Bobby
I
Hill,
was going
2023.
to take him for my next pick.
Oh well, he's mine now. Go on.
Oh, I need somebody in the okay, on you.
What's your forward line look like at the moment? Let's have a look at this. That is
Um,
Darren Mullane in the forward pocket. How's you want to butcher this? Pick 32. Who are you going, Michael?
Yeah, just give us a minute, okay?
Billy Frampton?
Okay, can you just shut up for a second? Just let me think. All right. Um,
Oh, I love this. I love this. We are we are a podcast. You do need to talk.
surely we've got another gun on baller.
There's some solid guys out there, but I'm not sure how many you would. There's a guy that I know you rate very highly, and you haven't picked him yet. I'm surprised by that, but
Could you give me a clue?
no, you should have him in your notes. He's one of your all-time favorites.
One of my all-time favorites.
I'm not telling you because I might want him at some point. He,
Yeah, stop looking at my. You're freaking looking.
I'm definitely not copying you.
Um. All right. Okay. All right, I'm going to turn my attention. I need somebody else just to help out the midfield a bit.
Oh, come on, Michael.
I'll go for I'm going to go for I'm going to go Mitchell.
Tom Mitchell.
Tom Mitchell. Now I was throwing up Luke Ball, Lucuria.
Why are you giving up your notes, you idiot? You might want these guys later.
Okay, well, yeah. So I just need somebody to farm it out to your Swannies, to your Beams, to your Nick Daicos. This is an underrated midfield. Tom Mitchell, you'd be spewing. You would have been picking him up.
He was on my long list. Tom Mitchell 2023, I'm assuming.
Yes, 2023. Tom Mitchell, almost best on ground in the granny. He took Lockie Neal to the cleaners, and he got, I think, 24 possessions himself. So no brainer, as they say, young people say. No brainer.
No brainer. All right. So yeah, what I'm going to do is, do I only have one wingman at the moment? I do only have one wingman. You got three wingmen, so I probably don't even need to pick this guy. But the way that your team's structured out, you could literally get this guy and put him anywhere. So I think I'm just going to play it safe, and I'm going to go 2023 Josh Daicos.
I didn't have him on my notes.
How do you not have Josh Daicos on your? Hold on, you've got Nick Davis on your notes, but you don't have Josh Daicos.
I've got 62 players.
What? And Josh doesn't make it.
Josh didn't make it.
Or did you just forget him?
So
you just forgot him.
I'll go through the players who weren't on my list later on, but I think I might have got Josh. I think he's a little bit better than that.
I think he's well. How do you forget best and fairest winner in a premiership year? Yeah, happy to slot Josh on there, and him and his dad can play in the same team. Poor Nick. I tell you what, Nick does not want to be in your team. He'll be requesting a trade to my side to play with his dad and brother. Yes, it's your pick, Michael.
Half forward flank, 1990 version of Doug Barwick.
I got Dougie Barwick on my list.
Doug Barwick.
Underrated pick.
Oh, for those who don't know, and I do have to educate the list because he was not 60 meters out, drop punt, set shots on the boundary. He was an awesome kick.
He was a good player. He had a good 1990 grand final.
Yeah, he was, yep.
1990 version, I'm assuming. Barwick.
1990 version of Dougie Barwick. Look at the half forward flank. Dougie Barwick, Anthony Rocca, Daisy Thomas. Ooh.
Yeah, I got
and
Peter Daicos and Didak.
Thomas can go into the midfield as well.
Well, it's your team. You know, you can move these guys around. I've already moved Gavin Brown.
Yeah. Okay, I'll think about that.
Oh,
I'm spoiled with riches.
Oh, Jesus. This. I don't even see the point in doing this anymore. I've won the draft, but all right, we'll go pick 35. Is that almost the whole ground now? Almost. Yeah, okay. Pick 35. Look, there's a couple of guys that I know you don't rate that I am considering. And I'm a little bit spooked by when you went with Darren Mullane because I didn't think you were going to. So now I'm starting to think, will you pick some of these guys? Especially because you're really struggling. And you might not have any choice. So I'm going to play it safe and I'm going to lock in the 2013 version of Travis Cloke at centre half forward. Came second in the Coleman that year, 68 goals. And that's when he got his big ass contract as well.
Travis Cloke,
Tra
not Jason, not Cameron.
Travis Cloke.
Travis Cloke.
See,
Uh,
Michael was very disrespectful to
a,
Travis Cloke. He's one of our all-time great key
a
forwards.
spoiler alert, but Cloke was one of my one who didn't make my top 62.
See, this is
This is a
you're very
guy.
biased.
This is a guy who regularly missed goals from 10 meters out, directly in front. Almost cost us the 2010 grand final by missing two sitters going into half time. He's not making my side, listeners.
Yes, I can see you're
I'll
stacked.
have-
You're
I'll-
stacked forward line with Darren Mullane and De Goey in the goal square.
I would rather Billy Frampton doing a job at full forward
Oh God,
than Cloke on Harris Andrews.
one of our great key forwards in the modern era. So I'm happy to have him and S.Rocca. I don't know how you've butchered your forward line when you got Anthony Rocca with pick one. How did you end up ruining your forward line?
Is it my pick?
Yes, pick 36.
Okay. Let me preface this by saying, how long's Bobby Hill been at the club?
2 years.
2 years. So he's played well in those two. He had a great first year. He was pretty good last year.
Leading goal kicker for us last year, yeah.
Leading
I
goal
picked the
kicker.
2023 version, yeah.
Okay, yeah, 20, and he was good last year without being
Are
spectacular.
you
So
trying to build this up as some crappy pick and you're trying to make it sound worthwhile?
Stevenson.
I
20
thought
2018 in my forward pocket. Rising Star 2018 was killing them
Oh my.
up until he placed that bet in 2019. He was slaughtering them. So
David Stevenson.
he's had Jaden Stevenson. He's had the equivalent amount of good games with the Pies as Bobby Hill has. So
Jaden
he
Stevenson.
can't. Any fair-minded person will see he cancels out Bobby Hill.
Well,
Jaden Stevenson, forward pocket,
2018 version.
2018.
That was his only good year. So
No, that's one. No, be fair. 2019 was a good
his
year.
first half of the year was good. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he
Oh, Michael.
placed that bet and
So
went to hell.
you're sitting here making fun of my Travis Cloke pick, and then you go and get Jaden Stevenson. No comment.
That's put me back in the game.
I can safely say that he wasn't in my notes. All right. Who have we got now? I think I can wait on that guy. All right. So I'm going to be working on my bench. Yep. Okay.
And any chance you might put a little bit of pace on that bench because you're looking a bit.
I've got one man on the bench.
You're looking a bit slow.
Where?
Well, your overall size looking a bit. Look. I'll just show out a couple of names. L.Davis, pace to burn. Heath Shaw, pace to burn. J.Daicos, the same. Graham Wright, Mick McGuan, Swanee, Dale Thomas, Barwick, Stevenson, Mullane, De Goey. These are all really quick players. You're a bit slow. You're a bit slow and stodgy.
I don't think I am. I'm pretty sure that you just know you're completely out of this draft now. You're just trying to bring my team down as much as you can. But let's go. Pick 37 on the bench. Oh geez, there are some good players available, but who's gonna fit my team and my structure? You know what? I'm gonna go a little bit out there, a little bit different here. I'm gonna go what version? I'm gonna go 2006 version of Benny Johnson, a guy that we spoke about in the podcast with L.Davis. It was a toss up between 2006 and 2010. 2010 will probably be his more famous season because of what we achieved. But his actual best season, I think, was '06, Benny Johnson, and can play back, he can play wing, and there's a bit of pace mick for you right there, Benny Johnson.
Yes,
So we'll score him on the bench.
Yes, good pick. Good pick. I was considering him with my Barwick pick. I was considering him at the same time, but I went Barwick.
Okay, pick
Okay,
37.
so I'm at my bench.
I picked
Yeah,
38. Yep.
I'm on my bench. Great. Gavin Krasiska.
Really?
Gavin Krasiska.
Okay.
Very, very good
What
player.
year?
Well, we'll go 90. 90, 90, no, 92.
It's good to see you've done your
No,
research.
no, no. Well, 92.
What? He's on your bench, is he?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He could play
I
multiple
think you still got
positions.
one.
He even
You got. Oh no, you don't
in the
have.
first half of 1990, he ruck roved a lot.
So
People forget
is
that.
it 1990? You got it?
No, I'm going to go 1992. But in the
1992.
first half of 1990, he was ruck rover. So that further bolsters my formidable blue division. Francisco.
Okay, so Benny Johnson is off the board. So is Chris Siska, who I was never going to pick. Okay, don't need any of those guys. Any of these? What are you laughing at your
Oh
teammate?
no, I was just trying to I couldn't read who this guy was. I was trying to find, what the hell does that say? And yeah, it just occurred to me.
All right, so okay. I am going to select with my next pick. I'm gonna. Oh, jeez. Oh, yeah. I am going to go with. You might laugh at this next one, but I think you're going to forget how good this guy was. Pick 39. I am going 2016 version of Adam Treloar.
Oh God, I was picking him next.
Were you
I
really?
was
But
literally picking
you
him
you
next.
don't
I
rate
don't.
him that
That's what's come to.
well.
I was picking him next.
He was
That's the name. Look,
before he did the
see
yeah.
Treloar. I thought, who's Trevor? And I thought it's Treloar. I need him. I'm going to pick him next.
He's
Oh, come
people
on.
forget like before the double hamstring 2018 how explosive he was, and he's played some very good footy for the Pies after that, where he racked up as an inside mid, and for the Bulldogs since then he's played some really good footy, all Australian last year, but 2016 Treloar on the outside, inside and out, was just explosive. So I'm happy to lock him on my bench alongside Gavin Brown and Ben Johnson. Uh,
Look, just to educate, and I want the listener.
you got the next two picks, Mick.
No, I want the listeners to take this into account when thinking about Treloar. There was one year, one of his last years with Collingwood, he was in the top 10 in the league for the most number of kicks inside forward 50. Okay? Sounds great. Sounds fantastic. How many marks did Collingwood players take from those kicks for the entire year? I've told you this before, Dermot. Do you remember? How many times did Collingwood players take a mark inside forward 50 from all of Treloar's kicks in that particular
I'm not
year?
sure.
Three.
Okay.
Three. They usually went to the guy in the third row of the forward
I
pocket.
love how you're trying to make this sound like a bad pick, even though you're going to get him next and chuck the tantrum when I got him.
I've got the next two picks, have I?
Yes.
I need them. Can we pause this? Can we pause
No,
this?
we cannot pause it.
I just need. I'm running out of players. I just need to.
This is
Uh,
all a part of it. Instead of you going on about how bad a pick of Treloar was, maybe you could have actually just been looking at who you wanted to get. This is the last pick of round 4, so just pick
okay.
one now, and then we can.
All right. Maybe I can think if you stop talking for a
I
second.
can't
Okay.
stop talking. It is a podcast. You're meant to be
Okay.
talking.
People can just. They don't need to be constantly amused. This isn't the footy where after a goal's kicked, you have to put rock and roll music on because the attention spans of the crowd can't handle
You've
it.
picked some such. Can
Um,
I just say you've picked so many bad players in this team that now there's so many good players still on this list. They're now going to get undrafted. Like I just because I'm looking at a couple of guys here and I'm like, geez, they're good, but I won't be able to get them because they don't fit my structure. They what?
I've got plenty of good players, but as I said,
Well, why are you picking bloody Krasiska and Jaden Stevenson and all these guys then?
well, they fill a role. Um,
Can you hurry up, Michael?
okay, hold on. Give us a second. Give us a second.
I've given you more than you get.
I don't work well under pressure. Um, all right. I'm going to
Oh,
bolster my midfield with
Bolster.
a Lockyer.
Yeah, that's a good pick. That's one of the players I was starting to think might get undrafted. All right, and you're putting him in the guts then? Oh no, he's on your bench.
He's on the bench.
I think he's better than most of your midfielders, isn't he? And he's on the. Who have you got? How did you pick Tom Mitchell before Lockyer?
Oh well, 6 of one, half dozen another. Him, Ball, Lockyer.
Okay, and what year?
When was he?
He won. I mean, he won Best and Fairest in '01 and 2. Put
Yeah,
2002.
yeah. Put that 2002.
All right, so that is the end of round 4. We've only got I think the 6 picks in the last round, so we can kind of like recap what we've done very quickly.
That
And
Trelaw,
that, we'll
that Trelaw hurts me.
well,
Okay.
So we won't completely recap the team because we're almost finished.
Yeah.
We'll do it then. But just how many spots on your ground is your whole ground now taken?
Yeah, oh yeah, it's stacked.
It's stacked, and you've got the two on the bench.
I've got the two on the bench, yep.
So I've got three on the bench. I've still got one position on my field to fill.
Well,
Uh,
you have had extra picks, so there's not surprising you
we've had the exact same amount of picks
further
right
well.
now.
The auditor will
After
be the
you,
final arbiter of that.
so are you preparing yourself? Like who? Okay, tell me who is your bench at the moment, just to see sort of the depth we've got. I've got 1990 Gavin Brown, 2006 Ben Johnson, and 2016 Adam Treloar.
Well, I've only got two on the bench, and it's Gavin Krasiska from 1992, and it is Paul Licuria from 2002.
So yeah,
There
Paul
you
Akira, it's a
go.
good pick. I'm not sure about
Jeez,
Francisco, but all right, let's start the final round. It's round five, is it? Yeah, round five. Pick 41. You're on the clock, Mick.
if I have to pick Shane O'Brien, I'm going to concede. Um, rightio. So another bench spot. I'm going to go. It's certainly not the 2024 version, but it's going to be the 2023 version of Quaynor.
That's good. That's a good pick. He was one of the other players I was thinking might get undrafted. Yeah, he all Australian squad that year, so that's not a bad pick for the bench.
Don't patronise me.
What is wrong with you? Pick 42. Pick 42. I'm actually gonna pick. So we've got three picks left. I'm gonna pick my sub before I pick my last spot on the bench and my last spot on the field. So you know that I like flexibility. I spoke about that on the last pod, how I like Sidebottom because you can play any position. This is going into this year,
Yeah, a bit of
playing
a
any
tip.
stuff.
Maybe somebody who's got a bit of leg speed for your
Um,
side.
so a bit of flexibility. Someone that can play, especially he can play defense. He can also play forward. He's just as good in both positions. He could also run through to midfield if he really needed to. And a very underrated player. I'm going to lock in 2000 and what year was this guy? Oh, who have I got next to him? I think 2007 version of Tarkan Lockyer as my sub.
Forgot about Tarkin Lockyer. I
Does-
completely forgot about him. I rated him.
well,
Oh, Jesus. You know who else? You know who else I haven't got on my list?
who?
I'm not going to tell you.
What were you going to pick him? Because it's probably one of the guys I'm thinking, how is he not going to get drafted?
How did I forget him?
Well, draft him then.
You need to give me more notice about these things. I've not
What are you talking about? We've been talking about this for like a week.
Okay,
More notice. So sub Tycoon Lockyer 2007 version. Who you got, Mick?
What I changed, I had things moved.
Pick 43. I hope it's this guy because he deserves to be drafted and I don't have any room for him in my team.
Oh, he deserves to be drafted. I think we're talking about the same guy.
It has to be.
You tell me who it is, and I'll tell you if you're
No.
right. I thought I'd sneak that by you. Scotty Burns.
Scotty Burns.
Scotty
Yes,
Burns.
Scotty Burns had to get drafted. See, because I didn't have an extra midfield spot. I'm thinking, what is Michael doing with this weak midfield of his and not selecting
Jeez.
Scotty Burns?
I can see him picking up bucks in the midfield and giving him a hard time.
What version of Scotty Burns?
Oh, we'll go 2002, I suppose. 2002, 2003.
2003 was his better year.
Was it? Yeah.
I'll give you a three just because you're unprepared. No, I wanted you to get him because I just feel like it would be disrespectful.
Again, you're patronising.
No, not because of you, but it would just be disrespectful to what is a champion of our club, a former captain in Scotty Burns, if he wasn't in this team, but Jaden Stevenson was. That would have been pretty bad. Okay, so I've got two picks left now. Two picks? Yep, pick 44,
And I've got one left.
yeah,
Who had the first pick again?
you did.
Oh, okay. Right. Okay. Right. Yeah.
All right, so I've saved these two to last. So I'm gonna go my ruckman, and I knew that you weren't gonna pick him. It's the 2018 version of Brodie Grundy.
Brodie Grundy?
Brodie Grundy.
He's not on my 62.
Now Brodie Grundy, the 2018 version of Brodie Grundy
He's hopeless.
was close to being the best player in the competition, and you even said that at the time. He was close to
He's
the
been
best.
good.
And I knew that you weren't going to pick him, especially after you went with Jolly. I'm like, well, there's no way he's going to put Grundy in his bench. So This
there's
was
no
very
way because
tactical.
he
This
can't play the game.
this was very tactical. I knew I was gonna get him with my pretty much my last pick here.
Well, why don't you go for Harry O'Brien as well?
Brody Grundy.
Will Hoskin Elliott?
What
What other
was
gems?
Brody Grundy 2018 not one of the best players in the competition?
He,
Yes,
oh,
he was.
he had us hoodwinked. I don't know what was
He
going
was
on.
one of the best players in the comp. It went downhill in about 2020.
You can't
He was
pick him.
he was amazing in 2019
You
too.
can't pick him on the basis of 1 year.
It's the 2018 version. You did that with Jaden
No,
Stevenson.
2018 and 19 for Stevenson.
And Grundy was also All Australian in 2019. Okay, so 2018-19 version of Stevenson was better than Grundy in
Keep
those
on going.
years.
Keep on going.
Well, no, it's your pick, so I won't keep
Oh,
going.
okay, it's my pick. Yeah. Rightio. So I've got four interchange. So I'm picking my sub. Is that it? Is that
I guess, yeah, that's
the end of it?
Yeah.
Okay. A sub. As I explained the other week to regular listeners, a sub should be somebody who comes on and is very quick, can break the lines and expose the other team's lack of pace because the pace has gone off the game. And a bit of flexibility as well. Trav Varco.
Travis Vargo. He's on my list, but
Trav Varco, come in, he was an impact player.
Jesus. Okay. I mean, yeah, 20. What version have you got there?
No, 2018.
Okay,
2018.
all right.
I can't remember exactly when he was at his best, but it was around
Oh
that
no, I think
period.
you've only got three players on the bench, Mick.
No, I've got four. I've got Crosisco, I've got Lockyer, I've got Quaynor, I've got Burns.
Quainer, sorry, I didn't add Quainer on there.
Quaynor and Burns.
Okay, yeah,
Oh.
my bad. Quainer, 23. All right, the last pick in the draft. Do you even have a second ruck?
Yeah, I got Rocker.
But he's your only key forward. What's going to happen when he's pinching
No.
it?
Weren't you listening? If you don't listen to him, you're not going to be able to learn anything. Okay?
No.
Darren Jolley could go forward. He was a very good key position forward. He could take a mark within 40, very straight kick for goal. He's swapping as a key.
So-
Don't.
So you've got one ruckman and one key forward.
No, it's a mobile forward line. It's not 1976, Dermot. Okay? It's a mobile, dynamic, versatile forward line. What Dermot has never managed to grasp is there's this thing called gravity, and meaning the ball's on the ground more than it's in the air.
You've picked two key position players in your team. Oh, sorry, ruckman are key position players according to you, so a one.
DeGoey, as I pointed out, DeGoey took Rance to the cleaners, who's according to you, one of the greatest fullbacks in the history of the game.
Not really.
DeGoey's a key forward. He's a big bloke. Okay, there's my.
All right,
I'm
so
very happy
the
with
last
that.
pick of the draft, and my pick is I'm going the second ruck, and I want someone that can play forward as well. So I'm going 2018 version of Mason Cox.
So you're adding to your pace, are you, with Mason Cox?
Well, I'm not going to put Cloke or S.Rocca on the ruck. I want Mason Cox as my backup ruck.
Very lumbering side, very lumbering.
You do realize our 20 every premiership with not the last two premierships you've had Cloke and Dawes in our forward line with Jolly and Lee Brown. There's four guys. You've had Brampton and Myercheck in the forward line with Cox and Cameron in the ruck. There's four guys. What's the difference? That's how almost every team is structured up. You're the one with one ruck and one key forward.
If I agreed with you, obviously I would have picked those
So,
players. So
2018, Mason Cox. We'll get the version of him that ripped up Richmond in the prelim. He can, chop Brody Grundy out in the ruck, can go forward.
Look, Taylor Adams made my 62.
All right. Well, before we read out the actual teams, I want to read out some players that didn't get picked up, and you're probably going to be very upset that you didn't get some.
No. Would have been.
So my key, I had the way I did it was I had sort of they were in different categories of positions. So my key / medium backs that didn't get picked up were Nick Maxwell, Premiership captain, Craig Kelly, 1990 version, Michael Christian, 1990 version,
For my list, not good enough to make my
and
side.
Alan Tuvey, 2010.
I was tossing up Tuvey for the sub position.
And also
for the
Wakeland,
sub
but
role.
did you pick Wakeland?
Yeah, no, I didn't pick him, but he's on my extended.
Yeah, I thought you mentioned Shane Wakeland. You didn't, obviously.
Yeah.
So Wakeland as well. The three midfielders. There were only three midfielders on my list that didn't get picked up, and that was 2011 Luke Ball. Poor old Lukey. But how do you not fit Luke Ball into what is one of the worst midfielders?
Not good enough to get him my side.
This is the one that you're going to regret because he's one of your all-time favorites. No room for Scott Russell.
Oh, No, fair dinkum. We need. No, Scott Russell is one of my all-time favourite players. I just okay. I why don't we know we can reflect and say each one of us has a chance to make one late change?
I'm not sure if I would make a late change in my team.
No, but you got the opportunity.
Let me consider that while I read out the rest of the players that didn't get picked up. Because Taylor Adams is the other one. You mentioned him. The ruckman that didn't get picked up, Darcy Cameron. I thought last year's version was good enough to get picked up. Josh Fraser and Monkey, big Damien Monkhurst. Small forwards, I had Paul Medhurst in there, 2008 version. Andrew Cracker, 2011 version. Key forwards, Chris Tarrant, 2003. Brody Myercheck, 2023. You don't have a fucking key forward, and you left Brody Myercheck on the.
We've already discussed this dynamic.
So did you deliberately leave Myercheck out?
Oh yeah, dynamic.
That is ridiculous.
See, had I missed out on Anthony Rocca, you see Myercheck next to his name, I would have picked Myercheck in the
You've only
event.
got one key forward.
In the event, we've already discussed this, but
You're so bad at this.
dynamic, versatile.
You're so bad.
They're the
And then I got a utility section, and there's only one player left on that list, and that was 2003 Ryan Loney. Everyone knows how much I love Loney. I put him on the list. I thought if things went really bad in my draft, he could be someone that I maybe rely on, but it didn't work out that way because I absolutely smashed it.
Where's Scott Russell?
Is that Lyndon Dunn's name I see?
I just thought he's on my list as in the event that I just had. I don't know, just in case. It was just in case for fullback.
Lyndon
He
Dunn.
was good in that year or so.
Yes, he was good, but you.
Yeah, he should be had he played in that 2018 grand final, who knows?
Michael, I'll let you bring Scott Russell in at the expense
No,
of someone.
I'm not taking your charity. I don't want him. He's not good enough to make my side.
Yeah, you're right. Travis Varco and Stevenson
he's not
and
good
all
enough
these
listeners.
guys.
Scotty Russell, the guy who made the difference in 1990, won us the premiership.
All right, let's read out our teams, and don't forget when you read out, put your year to the player as well.
25 kicks in the grand final. Yeah, 25 possessions. I think it was.
All right, so I'll go first. Don't forget, put the year to the player as well. What version? When we read out our teams.
Right.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Bang, bang, bang. My fullback line: 2017 Jeremy Howe, 2011 Ben Reid, and 2022 Braden Maynard. Half back line: 2022 Jack Crisp, 2023 Darcy Moore, and 1997 P.Williams. My centre line: 2023 Josh Daicos, 2003 Nathan Buckley, and 2018 Steel Sidebottom. My half forward line: 1990 P.Daicos,
Not good enough to get him my side.
2013 Travis Cloke, and 2010 Alan Didak. My full forward line: 2022 Jamie Elliott, 1995 S.Rocca, and 2023 Bobby Hill. The followers: 2018 Brody Grundy, 2011 Scott Pendlebury, and 1990 Tony Shaw. My bench: 1990 Gavin Brown, 2006 Ben Johnson, 2016 Adam Treloar, and 2018 Mason Cox. My sub is 2007 version of Tarkin Lockyer. Go on, Mick.
All right. I was surprised you mentioned the elephant in the room, which is S.Rocca at full forward. Not a good pick.
Not,
We've already discussed the reasons.
Is Darren Mullane at full forward for you? I'm confused.
Forward pocket. Okay. All right. So we have James Clement at in the back pocket, say 2003 version. Presti at fullback, 2009. Leon Neon Davis in the other back pocket, 2011.
G'day, Leon.
Graham Wright, second in the Brownlow, should have won in 1990 and half. Oh, sorry, we're halfback flank. Heath Shaw, what year did we say? Heath Shaw?
2010.
2010. Shane Morwood, 1990 at centre half back. Nick Daicos, 2023.
Surely he's good enough to get in your midfield, I reckon, Mick.
You were very rude. Centre line, Graham Wright, as I said, 1990. Swanee, 2010 in the centre. Mick McGuan, first of his two, best and fairest, 1992. Daisy Thomas, best player in the league on the half forward flank in 2011. Anthony Rocca, 2002.
Number one pick.
Enough said. Number one pick. Dougie Barwick, watch out, 1990, half forward flank. Darren Mullane, forward pocket.
What's that? Darren Mullane, the great wingman in the forward pocket.
1990, could push forward, do a lot of damage. Jordan DeGoey, what year did I say?
You said 21. Can we change it to 18? Can we take this?
No, I'm not, this is my team, not yours.
But he wasn't that good in 21. He kicked close to 50 goals in 2018.
He was a decoy forward. He did a lot of.
I think he was injured a lot that year.
No. I think the listeners won't underappreciate his year in 2020.
I'm putting 18.
It's not about the stats.
This draft needs a bit of respectability. I'm making a call. You're getting the 2018 version.
Stephen said in the forward pocket 2018. Darren Jolly 2010.
The next two, sorry.
Dane Beams. Ruck Rovin.
Yeah.
What year did he play?
2012.
2012, he was best and fairest.
Yeah, he was great that year.
Yeah, 2012.
He was very good, yeah.
Yep, 2012.
I got Pendlebury in that position.
Tom Mitchell could easily have won the Norm Smith medal in 2023. Easily have won it. The job he did.
Trying to build up your team?
No, I've already talked about the Lockie Neal job, the 24 possessions. On the bench, Chris Siska, is there a more versatile player? I don't know. Paul Lacuria, Chris Siska, what do we say, 1992. Paul Lacuria, 2002, I think we went for. Quaynor, definitely not 2024. Scotty Burns, 2003. And then the cherry on top of the cake, Trav Varco as the sub, 2018.
You know, Travis Varco follows us on Instagram. Hey, so,
good.
Yeah. So there we go.
He'll be wrapped
technically friend of the show. I did reach out to him once to see if he wanted to come on, and I didn't get a reply. But
I think he'll come on now.
but he follows us, so we really appreciate that, Trav. I'm not going to call Oscar in. I don't even think it's home. There's no point getting his opinion because I've won the draft. You know I've won the draft. What I'll do is I'll put both teams in the description of the video. Of the video if you're watching on YouTube, and the podcast on Spotify and Apple will be in the description. And yeah, so you can actually read it for yourself. There will be polls. Hopefully, I'm pretty sure you can do polls on Spotify. If so, it will be a poll on Spotify. I'll chuck them up on Instagram and Twitter as well. And I guess I'll post the teams on those social media things as well. But I'm very happy with how that went. So that could have been a really boring episode, by the way. Who knows how this has come out? This could be, like I said before, either the best or the worst episode that we've done. All right, tell me how, before we wrap it up, tell me how you're feeling about your draft, honestly. Like,
I'm wrapped.
You're wrapped?
Oh, yeah. Why wouldn't I be? Mate, well, I've got Nick. I've got Nick Daicos there. I've got freaking Presti at full back. I've got a Rocca.
How did you let me get Bucks, Pendles, and P.Daicos? How does that happen?
Hold on, can for a second. I'm just quickly. So, Wright played in a different era. Shane Moore played in a different era. Mick McGuan played in a different era. Barwick, Mullane, Chris Siska, Burns, even Lacuria and Clement. You've got more modern players, and that's going to attract the voting out there. That's going to influence the voting.
I just picked a better team than you.
People don't know how good these players are. Take my word for it. Listeners, take what I say as gospel when I say I've got the better team.
I've got P.Daicos, P.Williams, Gavin Brown, T.Shaw.
Yeah, but P.Daicos is well documented. Everybody knows
S.Rocca. These guys.
Well, I can tell you about S.Rocca.
Tarkin Lockyer. If you're gonna say that Paul Lacuria and Scotty Burns aren't modern day players, I can put Tarkin Lockyer in that category myself. Well, yeah, no Scotty Russell in either of these teams as well. That's a bit of a disappointment for him. If he's listening to this, we apologise, Scotty Russell. Michael obviously doesn't rate you, as you can see. Like, I've got a pretty stacked midfield, so it's hard to get in, But yeah, there we go. That is our draft of the AFL era. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see Michael's got his arms crossed, shaking his head. He knows he fucked up. He's
What are you an expert in body language? Are you? Aren't I allowed to fold my arms?
Yes.
Comfortable.
So look, before we wrap it up as well, I'll just say that we've got the practice games coming up, which we're really excited about. There will be, I think we'll do a podcast after the game against Brisbane and Gold Coast, that little three-way game, and then we'll do another one after the Richmond game, the official preseason game.
I've
And
got a question before we close.
yes,
Um, your mate Andreas from
Andreas,
Black and White United. Again,
sure is
thank you. Do you have a word?
sure is listening, unless he found this very
Thanks for
boring.
coming on. We do appreciate that. But he said in the last couple of weeks, his Thursday night show, and I think his previous Thursday night show, that we're a huge chance of getting either um, who's number 9 from North Melbourne?
Davies Uniacke.
Yeah, Rao and or Petrarca for next year. Now, Petrarca, he reckons we're going to get one of those three, which is really exciting. I thought Petrarca was a long-term contract with Melbourne. Is his contract's not at the end up at the end of this year, is it?
No, I
No,
don't think.
we'd have to trade for
Yeah.
him. But in this speculation that Melbourne might let him go this time, is there? Yeah,
Look, I haven't heard anything.
yeah, okay,
I
right.
think I'm not. I've heard Andre's talking about it. I'm not sure if
Yeah.
that's what he
Well,
wants
if we
or
get
that's what he thinks is going to
Well,
happen.
he was saying he thinks he's confident we're going to get one of those three, and that will be huge if we. Petrarca, he's getting on a bit. He's getting a few injuries, but
Anyway,
even so,
anyway, this
yeah,
is
pretty
this is
exciting.
an episode with no hot topics mix. So
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't realize I wasn't allowed.
So-
Well, why don't you drop me from the podcast again? You might try doing that.
Uh,
You don't want me
big
talking.
deal.
Obviously, don't want me saying anything.
All right. Any final words, Mick?
I dare not say anything in case I get dropped again.
All right, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give us a 5-star rating on Spotify and Apple. If you want to follow our socials, you can find us on X at Into the Woods Pod and on Instagram at Into the Woods Pod 10. Thanks for listening. We look forward to doing it again soon. See ya.